Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so here we've got the big week for the Tyranids. So we've got the Tyranid range refresh is now up for pre-orders. Let's go ahead and take a look. We've got a couple of limited edition items as well, starting off with the Codex Tyranids Collector's Edition. So $100 for this, right in line with what we have seen in the past. It does have this special cover right here, some exclusive art. Pretty neat. These things are usually pretty nice quality. Obviously, we see like the metallic purple kind of like inlay on the edges there and everything. And if we just scroll down here, so it does say the Magnificent Collector's Edition of Codex Tyranids features unique variant artwork on soft touch cover with silver foil detailing, as well as purple foil edges and black ribbon bookmark. This edition is limited print run and is only available while stocks last. So it does not say how many are available, which usually it does. So interesting choice there, $100 for that. And then we see the regular codex as well, $60 for the regular codex, right in line with what we would expect. And it does come with that digital code as well for the Warhammer 40,000 app. And then we see the datasheet cards also, $35 for those. So unfortunately, the data sheets that Games Workshop has already sold are now useless. Well, maybe that's a little bit overboard. They're not technically useless, but we do expect at least some changes to these new data cards. Obviously, they don't have the new units that are just coming out, the brand new Norn Assimilator and Norn Emissary, the Neurolictor, etc. These do have like a different look to them, so they're easily distinguishable from the index cards as well. But yeah, these are going to take over for them. And then moving right along, we have Combat Patrol Tyranids. So very disappointing to see this thing priced at $160. Now, if there was no other factors, $160 for this box set with all these models and all of these cool new sculpts would seem like a pretty good deal, honestly. But when we look at the comparison to what other options we have, it's just not worth it to buy this box set for $160. For another $50, we can get a hold of the largest starter set, and then you get the entire Space Marine Combat Patrol included, plus you get a bunch of terrain included as well. So if you're even considering buying the Combat Patrol Tyranids, you might as well just pick up the starter set and then just sell off the other stuff, give it to a friend to get them to play with you, or just have two armies instead of one. So very cool box set, but at $160 price tag, it is just not worth it with so many awesome alternatives to get all of the same stuff for just a couple bucks more with a ton of extras. All right, and then we have the Norn Emissary. So this is the new kit for the Norn Emissary / Norn Assimilator. A very cool model, honestly. I think a lot of people have been disappointed by the overall size of it. It did look like it was much larger than it is. But whenever we have seen it kind of in comparison, the main picture we've seen is with an Eldar Wraith Lord, and I think maybe people were like confusing that for a Wraith Knight because people have been talking about how big this thing is, how it's the size of a knight, and it's massive, and that is just not the case at all. So there has definitely been some comparison issues with this. We see it oftentimes with Games Workshop when they are very selective of like a few pictures they release in advance, and then as soon as the community gets a hold of it, usually the people who got the free copies to review, it's like immediately evident that, you know, the pictures were very misleading. So here we see your typical Primaris Space Marine, and then here we see the Norn Emissary, about 2.5 times the size, call it 3, but definitely not that big. Very, very cool model here and everything. It does explain the $115 price tag though. If it was going to be as massive as everybody thought, if it was going to be the size of a knight, you would expect it to be priced appropriately, somewhere around like $170 to $200. And then here is the alternative build right there, the Norn Assimilator. So very cool dual kit right here. Massive like textured base, lots of cool options. I will definitely get a hold of one of these, and I'll give you guys my honest opinion once I have it in hand. But yeah, that is it for the Norn Emissary. So very cool. I do expect some of these new units to be selling out just because they've never been available before. Some of like the older stuff that's getting resculpts, I think much less likely. Like the Genestealers are super cool, $55 for them. But I'm just not sure suddenly everybody's going to be rushing out to buy the Genestealers. I have not seen any early leaks on like the actual Tyranid rules or anything. And I don't have my codex yet, obviously. So I don't know what's going to be good and what's not, but I would expect whatever is going to be really good, especially the new stuff, to be selling out like crazy. So I do expect, obviously Games Workshop uses rules to sell models, so you would expect all of the new models to have really good rules so that they sell. Something like Genestealers or Lictors, etc. There's a million of them already floating around from all the previous editions. Of course, everybody wants the new sculpts. Of course, everybody wants the cool new thing. But you already have a model that could be used as it, so it's not going to drive demand the same way as a brand new kit is. So next we see the Hormagants, and I'm going to tell you right now, off of these gaunts, I am very disappointed with the price on these. It's just absolutely insane in my opinion. $50 for 10 Hormagants. When I said it initially, people talked about me like I was crazy, but the truth is that's exactly what I was expecting, and it is very, very disappointing. I mean, your typical like Space Marine unit of 10 guys comes in at $60. So you're getting 10 Hormagants and a Ripper Swarm for $50. That is like borderline criminal. Termagaunts, obviously $45 for them. It is good that Games Workshop put them $5 cheaper, but the truth is I don't think it's going to make a difference. These things are in like every single kit. The main reason anybody's going to buy the Termagaunts is to get a hold of the extra sprue. So if we do just jump in here real quick and take a look at the Termagaunts, from what Games Workshop has told us, these are basically... Yeah, so it looks like these are the same 3 sprues that you would normally get in all the other boxes. And then this is the special weapon sprue right here. So if you're after like the Devourers or the Spine Fists or some of the other weapons here, this is going to be the sprue that you'll need to get a hold of. So I'm not sure exactly how many of each weapon come on here. We could probably go through and count them if we really wanted to. But it does look like you're going to get like Devourers and Spine Fists for like a bunch of guys. And then you're going to be like pretty limited on the new like heavy weapon or some of the other weapons. So it does look like there's going to be some weapon options, but it's not the type of thing where it's going to be like an option for everybody in the unit to take all of these weapon upgrades. So interesting. We'll have to see obviously in the new book how that is. Also really looking forward to the book, or maybe I should have checked somebody else's like early reviews to see if war gear is still free, because that is very important. If equipment and war gear is still free, that's a huge factor. If we go back to like the previous way where you had to pay for your upgrades, that's going to change things and probably upset the community. Even though that's probably how it should have been the whole time, I think people would be mad because a lot of people have broken off weapons, redone things, repainted things to conform to the new rule set. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. All right, so next we have one big disappointment this week. So I was definitely wrong about this. So I said the Lictor is $50, so it has to be 2 Lictors in a box set if it's going to be $50. And look at this lonely box right here. 1 miniature, a bunch of nothing, and then here we have just in the corner over there the Lictor that you're going to pay $50 for. Absolutely insane. Love the model, love the unit, glad to see it in plastic, but this is just absolutely criminal in my opinion. And then if we scroll down here, part of the reason I thought the Lictor would be a kit of 2 is the Deathleaper, the unique, awesome, amazing new sculpt special character Lictor, is $60. And then the Neurolictor, which is a brand new unit, which is basically a cooler version of the Lictor. I guess instead of 2 legs, he has like the big slithery like tail. $40 for him. So why isn't the regular Lictor priced at $40 also? Or even less? Why isn't the Lictor priced at $30? Or why isn't there 2 Lictors in a pack for $50? Very, very confusing. And honestly, this new Tyrnid range is definitely a slap in the face for customers as far as the pricing in the United States is concerned. Next, we had the Biovore unit, $50 for that. You can make the Biovore and Pyrovore. Definitely a cool unit. So I have a feeling this Biovore is going to be pretty popular. The old kits were just absolutely terrible, and they were resin, and I think people are really going to be after this new sculpt because it is really cool. Also has like a definite Zerg look, so for all the StarCraft players out there, probably going to love this. So moving right along, we have the Tyrnaids Dice, $32 for the Tyrnaids Dice, and there is only 16 dice in that set now. So definitely shrinkflation, $2 per die there. And then we see the Word Bearers box set collection. So $160 for this. Oh, wow. It is already sold out. I was going to say this is definitely going to sell out. Very, very popular are these like special collector's edition sets. And typically they only have about 1,000 of them available. So when they do come up for order, they tend to sell out very quickly. And that is definitely the case with this one. And then we see a couple more books here. The Blackstone Fortress Omnibus, little collection for $21. And then the Rose in the Darkness hardback. $30 for that. The hardback books tend to sell out pretty quickly too. So if you're after this Rose in the Darkness, I wouldn't mess around. Oh, and it is already gone. So that is definitely how it is. So limited edition and hardback novels tend to sell out very, very quickly. So, and then if we just keep coming down here, we see the Pyrovore alternative. We see the Norn Assimilator alternative. And then we see our leftovers from last week as well. So definitely exciting week for Tyranid players. Also, I personally am really excited as a Tyranid player and also just to get a hold of the first codex and just kind of see how things are going to be laid out. If we see any changes to like the actual like point system, are points still listed in the codex? Are we going to get like immediately changes to that? Really just curious how this edition is going to work out. Obviously with 8th and 9th edition, we saw them take like 2 different approaches. And now in 10th edition, we're seeing a lot more of that same situation repeated with the indexes and everything. But we're kind of seeing like the blended in power level aspect as well. So I'm just really interested to see where Games Workshop takes 40K from here. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're thinking so far of these releases. Let me know what you're picking up this week. And if you have any of the same questions as I do, or maybe you already have the answers on like the points or the equipment, etc. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. As always, check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop. Link in the description. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. It's time to embrace the swarm. And I'm out of here.